Now we're going to take our 18-inch piece of paper. We're going to start to roll it up. I tend to put a heavy weight on the end of it, but you can't see what we're working on if I've got the heavy weight on there. So I start out, just start to roll. Then I take my glue, and in this case, I'm using a wallpaper glue right now. I've used wood glue, Elmer's glue, any kind of glue that really it's going to hold just fine. And then you're just going to roll it up nice and tight. Getting some runoff on here. Let's try to straighten that out a little bit before we go too far. You can have a little bit of runoff, especially if you're using the TSS. You'll find you'll have a very small, short shot cup in general than if you're using like 6.5s or 8s or something like that, or ounce and a quarter. You just have to work out what works for your gun. You're gonna have to pick the dowel size that works. I tried the thicker sidewalls on using a smaller mandrel. It was a 440 mandrel. I thought it might be better. It's not. It tends to get in the way, and it's not making for a better pattern. It's actually hurting the pattern. I roll these up, leave them set overnight. This one's got a little runoff. It's like not the end of the world. But I'm just trying to hurry through this a little bit. Once you get it where you want, go ahead and just roll it. Let it dry and slip it off the thing. You put too much glue on it, you may not be able to get it off the mandrel. So set that guy to the side. Here we've got one that we've already pre-glued up. It's been setting for a bit. I've tried different back stops on these cups. I've tried everything from the fiber wad, I tried card wads. Nothing seems to work as well as the wood. And also, when I tried the wood, I found that, hey, this stuff shorter is not better. This is a 1/2 inch long wood dowel. In this case, I actually prefer using wood glue more than the wallpaper glue. I think it gets a better adhesion with that paper. So you want to put a nice amount of that on there. Then you're going to push it in. Grab the mandrel and push that guy in. And you can see how much we have. We've got a lip on there. So you got this little lip section. Put a dowel in here and start to roll that guy. You're going to roll it just like an old-time shotgun shell of the turn of the century. We're going to crimp the end of it. Once you get it down, you just finish it out nice. A little glue on the end doesn't hurt any. Okay, so we got a nice dowel that's all, or a nice shot cup that's all crimped, looking pretty. When they're shot, that's what it looks like. I tried cutting these off flush. I thought they were nice looking, but the problem was when the explosion happens, it comes up alongside of here and rips these wings off of your cup itself, and then it screws up your pattern. At this point in time, if this is the first time you're loading these, once you get used to it, you'll know, hey, I need a 1/2 inch, I need 3/4 of an inch of space. But if it's the first time, go ahead and measure out your shot. This is 1 1/4 ounce of TSS. And then once you have it in there, you can see inside. Hopefully you can see that. Then just take a pair of scissors and start trimming kind of in a circular fashion to get to where you want to be. I don't like any airspace on the top of the shot. Once you get accustomed to what depth your cup needs to be, you won't have to weigh out this shot all the time. You won't have to say, oh man, I got to get my scale and see I got 1 1/4 ounces. You'll be able to do it by volume. Just make the shot cups all the same, just like that. Once you're done, pour the shot back into a container. I don't tend to like working with a shot cup that I've just glued up, because a lot of times that loose glue in the bottom will actually stick the shot to it. And then those couple pieces of shot may be the lucky shot that you needed to kill something, turkey or something. I put 3 slits in it to make 3 wings. I tried 4, I didn't like it. I don't think it's as solid. I tried no wings whatsoever, no slits whatsoever, and I found that it went through the paper sometimes sideways and really messed up my pattern altogether. If you can mark it off evenly, so your shot slug or plug is down about here. I normally cut to about here and just make three spots. You can come up with some fancy measurement there so they're all even. You don't want one that's not even, because what will happen is that's the one that'll peel off, and all of a sudden now your shot is in a different place than you expected. This is just a dowel that has a wood kerf, saw kerf in it, and you set it up here like so, and you take your razor blade and just push it down through there, and you just make your 3 slits. Normally I take more time than this to do them because I actually enjoy it. It's a lot like when I used to put fletching on arrows when I used to shoot a lot of traditional archery stuff. It's very pleasing to be able to do something that's part of what your hunting is. So once we have that, we've got our 3 slits. There's your shot cup. Put it back on the dowel. Get a piece of paper. In this case, this is the 3-inch paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to make 1 wrap. Not 2, not 3, not 4. Because what will happen if you start wrapping a bunch of paper around this, you're going to find that the paper keeps this from opening up. And that's going to defeat your purpose. What I do is put the glue just on the back side of it. Don't run glue up the sides. I've made that mistake trying to put glue up here. That doesn't work real well. Because what happens is when it squeezes, it ends up gluing your slits back shut again, and now you've got a solid shot cup. You can roll some down here on the bottom is good. And pretty much we just set that guy on there. Come around with it, 1 wrap, nice and snug. When it comes back and touches itself, take some glue. You can use the same stuff if you want to. This is a wood glue I'm switched over to just because I like it better for this kind of application, even though it doesn't seem to be getting where we want it to be. I'm trying not to make a mess. Yeah, one little bit of like that. Then take your razor blade, cut the excess off, and get that going. At this point in time, you just wrap it and roll it. And see, you look on the bottom, and now you've got extra paper down here on the tip. What you do is you just keep doing the same thing. You just roll that paper in. Just keep curling and crimping. Close that up. And once you get it where you like it, go ahead and flatten the bottom out. And what that does is it keeps those wings shut. And when you put the shot in there, it holds it all together and keeps the sides from bulging. Because if the shot starts to open up in there, you're not going to be able to get that down the bore, because this whole package should fit tight enough in the bore that there's not a lot of slack. You shouldn't have to be wrapping like 2 or 3 pieces more paper to have it tight. So the key is make it right the first time so you don't have to do it again. Pull your mandrel out. Now you can return and put your shot back in. And you look down inside. I don't know if you can see that or not. Now it's all right there. This is a little bit of excess of paper. I mean, it's a little more than we need, so we're going to trim it off. But leave enough paper that you can start to crimp it the same way. And you're going to push it all down inside. And you're going to make a nice, tight, clean package. Last thing you want to do, take a magic marker, put an arrow on there so you know which way it goes out the barrel. It's going out the muzzle that way. I write on it like TSS, and then I write like 8.5. Now once you make these, the sweet part is I'm used to going around and hunting and having to carry a shot pouch. And this will have like 6s or 7.5s in it. All of a sudden now I can go out and I can hunt with something that looks like this. And it has the TSS, it's got like, you can have 6s. This has everything I need. So it's got 4 shots in this one little canister. I use my hard card first over the powder. I use one of these fiber wads, and then I put my shot cup with the whole package in there now. The key is when you load this, you need to make sure when you slide that down, you use an overshot card. This is a 20 gauge overshot card. If you push one of these down and it fits really loose in your gun, the last thing you want is for this to be moving forward. So if you need to, go to a 16. If you shoot a 20, do a 16. If you shoot a 16, go to a 12. But the key is this must sit very tight to the whole thing. You don't want any airspace where this is moving down the barrel. That's a disaster in the making. So once you're with that, you're in pretty good shape. Now, shot isn't the only thing you can put in there. Once you make that cup up, I've actually used round balls before. You can put like 2 or 3 round balls in. Now, mind you, these are like 50s. They fit right down inside the tube. And what I do is, you can see they're not rolling around. The reason is because it helps if you put one ball on top of the other and you're trying to push them. They're 2 round spheres trying to get out that barrel side by side. It helps a lot if you just lay them up on the anvil or the vise and smack them with a hammer, and then all of a sudden those little guys stack. They make a nice little package, so you can put 2, 3, 4, whatever. I would not suggest probably more than 2 or 3. But if you're hunting game like bear or something that's wounded, I don't tend to use it for my first shot, but I would definitely use it for a shot that I had to go in the bush and go look for something that 2 shots is always a little better than just having 1 ball going out there. I'm going to show you some of the patterns that we're getting from this, and then you can assess how it can actually help you.